So there are all those stories that you normally don't need calibration, right? But that's actually not true. Every display needs calibration. Even a $30,000 reference display, be it an OLED display or an LCD-based reference display that is used in the most expensive studio productions like movies from Marvel Studios or Lucasfilm, are actually requiring calibration. And they're calibrated on a regular basis. Why? Because displays tend to shift. That means that even when they were calibrated, after a specific period of time, based on the display technology, those displays are recalibrated just to make sure that color is always right.
I am the developer and designer of Calman's new Aurora color engine. The Aurora color engine is our new calibration engine. And when we talk about calibration, the biggest part of that is learning about the display and understanding how a display behaves. If we can understand exactly how a display produces color, we then can know how to manipulate the controls on that display to produce a particular color that we want. And that is what the Aurora color engine is based on. So we looked at that base problem of how do we learn about a display? How do we model a display? And from there, we used the latest in color science and traditional color science to develop an internal model of that display. And then knowing what controls are available on the display and what tools we can use, we can develop a calibration that modifies the display to produce the particular colors that we want.
To do calibration, you have to have different tools. In the good old days, you were probably using a DVD or a Blu-ray disc that had some test patterns on it, and so you could do some tweaking and you could do some manual calibration, for example. Now, but it's really hard to calibrate a display correctly just by the naked eye if you don't have measurement tools like meters, probes, and pattern generators that are providing you with a reference pattern that somehow is generated under reference conditions. And to make things even easier to use, wouldn't it be neat if you would have one software that's connecting all those things with each other? The generator, loading the patterns, the meter, taking the readings from the screen, and then even maybe, if you think about it, magically correcting the TV by itself so that in the end of the day you get the perfect picture like in the Hollywood studio. This is exactly what Calman actually can do.
From a perspective of why Calman is where it is, I think the things that we do that really matter are we build on a solid backbone of just good color science. We spend a lot of time, we have color scientists on staff. We want to make sure that we get the numbers right. So that's of course the core component that we want to make sure we're always getting right. But from there, it's a matter of, creating a way for somebody to use that to be able to get good numbers into their color science, but making it accessible for a broad range of applications and a broad range of knowledge bases. So what we want to do to make sure that can all happen is make sure that the color science is accessible. We do that with developing what we call workflows within Calman, where we can guide the steps of a process through.
So it's a very intuitive workflow, and it's also very visual. So it shows you exactly what points it's measuring, and it shows you your delta E's for how accurate, how far off the colors are from what they're supposed to be, stuff like that. And then it goes through a whole verification process at the end so that you can guarantee that it is what it's supposed to be.
So, even if you haven't taken hundreds of hours of calibration and color science training courses, you still have the tools that you can follow a guide, you can follow videos online as well, and you can get a really good calibration. So I think that's really what kind of that first part that really sets us apart, is that we do have these really customized tools where we're able to set things up and guide somebody through the process to make sure they're going to get good results.
We started to use features of Calman to put also into hardware products to support the different Calman programs, as Calman Verified, for example, or Calman Ready, or Calman Powered. Now, the Calman Ready TVs are not just consumer TVs that can be calibrated automatically with Calman's calibration software, but it also contributes to PC monitors and also other viewing devices that have to be color accurate and that then support a high level of color accuracy.
In today's version of Calman, changes have been made to account for the new display technologies. We now have wide color gamut, we have high dynamic range technology. So things that used to work for SDR and things that were working back in the early 2000s, early 2010s, those don't apply necessarily for all displays now. So we've had to make some advancements, make some tweaks, make some changes. Calman today is a useful tool for all of those display technologies. Whether you have something that is for those legacy SDR formats or technology that is for the latest up-to-date HDR wide color gamut, the best of the best. We try to stay on top of those latest trends and on top of where technology is moving so that we can quickly serve our customers with calibration solutions.